6 years. We're basically rounding up at that point, but how do you even begin to talk about 6 whole years? Well, I guess probably the best way for me to talk about it is by starting with what I try to start everything with: gratitude. Now, obviously, I'm really grateful that I even have the chance to make this video. I'm grateful for the team because of how incredible they've been. And it's a bittersweet video for me to make because this is my final video at Android Authority. And I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't have gone 6 years at this company had it not been for the two people I should be very grateful for, the founders of this company. See, 6 years ago, they found me just randomly when I applied for this classifieds ad. And sure enough, they sent me a phone, I reviewed it, and what I thought was going to be 1 or 2 articles a week turned into hundreds of videos over the course of 5+ years. But of course, if we're going to talk about stuff I've done in my past going down memory lane, we got to talk about the drop test. Which is ironic because my drop tests in the first couple of years got a lot of views, but when I was called by the founders to even join this company, it was when they were doing their drop tests. So it was like a passing of the guard in a weird way, and of course, as the video person on Android Authority's YouTube channel, I had to be the one to start dropping phones and getting some of that pain. One. 3, 2, and 1. Those middle years were really fun, and looking back on it, there are a couple of things that I really miss doing. Now, respect to everybody on the channel who kind of moved on to doing these particular things so that I could continue doing reviews and verses and all that, but I actually really miss doing the weekly news roundup. I remember that I experimented with that show more than pretty much any other ones. I had some pretty silly moments, but my favorite one, and probably one of my favorite videos throughout my career here at Android Authority, was one where I was on vacation with my family, but I knew I still had to get the news roundup done. So I actually did that episode from a bunch of different locations in Paris. And then the end of it was me cheersing everybody with a pint of beer or a pint of Guinness at a pub in London, which, man, that video, it always brings back memories because that was a good vacation, but I still was able to get work done. And that was me realizing just what kind of really fortunate job I had. And right behind me is actually the corner of my room where I did my first set. It was a standing desk most of the time, and this is where I did a lot of my first videos for the first year or two. And yeah, this is kind of where it sort of started for me. And then when I needed even more space, came out here to one of the living rooms in the house that I grew up in, and I set up an entire set over here. And now, since I moved to my office and everything moved to that location, there's just this couch right here. Not really a whole lot to look at in this area. It's just a little bit more free now because I'm not occupying this space. And then of course you gotta talk about the podcast. Now, we all miss the podcast. I know that everybody that used to be on the show really misses it, and a lot of you fans miss it as well. But trust me, no one misses it more than I do. It was something that was really fun for us to do every single week, and it was just a time for us to get together. It might have taken a little bit of time for us to record those episodes, but that usually led to a really casual and a really fun podcast. But really, some of those podcasts were some of the best moments that I've had at Android Authority because I had a bunch of our tech friends in there. A bunch of them had a lot of collaborations where we had people like Fisher, Nicole Scott, and a bunch of our friends all together in one room just talking about tech. And those were definitely some of the best moments that I've ever had in this industry. So here we are at the final destination, my office. About a year ago, almost to the T, I was able to find this office space, and it's been a great place for me to just focus on my work and get some consistent production done. I've really loved it being in a place like this, having my own space. It's been awesome. And just like with any Android Authority video, we obviously want to make it count, and I want to make this one count, so it takes a little while. So you basically have followed me throughout the day, just reminiscing and whatnot. And of course, the last couple of years have been just a roller coaster ride of just a lot of travel. So many phones have been coming out. The industry has ramped up so much, and I've just been incredibly grateful to have been on this ride for this long. So as long as I'm sharing stories, I did want to backtrack one more time to the times when we were celebrating every milestone leading up to what we have now, which is almost 3.5 million subscribers. The one that sticks out the most is the 300,000 subscriber mark, because that was when my worlds were kind of colliding. Here I was with my work colleagues, my bosses, if you will, who happened to be in the same area when I was vacationing with my relatives up in Canada. And we all came together, and once the 300,000 subscriber mark hit, we just set up the camera, sat in front of this amazing Filipino feast that my aunt and uncle made, and sure enough, we just did a congratulations and thank you to you guys, the audience, for getting us to that milestone. Obviously, there's a lot that I'm going to miss about being here, and to just give a little bit of closure to a lot of you fans out there who have asked a bunch of questions in the comment sections down below, I'm going to go ahead and answer a couple of them right now so we can finally set the record straight in my final video here at Android Authority. Number 1, I am Filipino. Number 2, I was not born in the Philippines. And number 3, I live in California. My daily driver is indeed the BlackBerry Key 1. I cannot wait for the next version. Hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on it and be able to do a review in some sort of capacity. But I do also use a Google Pixel 2 XL. And as you know, I have modded it with a yellow backing up here to cover up the glass, so it has that black and yellow, just like my shoes. Kind of an antiquated question at this point. How did I come up with a salute? So for the longest time, I did a salute. I'll do it one more time properly. It's Joshua Vergara from Android Authority. What's going on, everybody? Now that salute kind of started around MWC 2016 or 15. I want to say it was probably 2015. It might have been even earlier than that because I've been here for so long at this point. But I just kind of wanted to do something at the beginning of my videos that was kind of a signature, a little bit unique perhaps. And when I thought about doing it for one of the videos in Barcelona, what came to mind was an animation from NBA 2K, which at the time I was playing a lot. Basically, my player in NBA 2K would do something like a bow and then go like this to the crowd at the court side before every game. So that kind of came to mind, and I just kind of put my own spin on it, and it became the salute. Now, as far as what I'm going to be doing in the future, it's pretty easy to find me. I'm trying to be everywhere at once, so with a name like mine that happens to be somewhat unique, you can just type it into any search box or at the end of youtube.com. And of course, you have been seeing in the lower thirds for every video for the past 2 to 3 years our social handles, and I'm going to bring it up one more time below. If you really want to keep some tabs on me, you can go to any social media platform, and that is my handle, so have at it. And as far as Android Authority goes, I mean, obviously, I am friends with so many people here. I cherish so many people and all of you here at this company and as the audience. And of course, our paths are going to cross again. It's just that at this point, it's time for me to forge my own. So I guess the best way for me to end this video is the way that I've ended pretty much every video here at Android Authority, with my final outro. And here we go. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this final video of mine here at Android Authority. Thank you so much again. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that bell so you get notified for every time Android Authority puts up a video, which is pretty often. And then drop some likes on those videos because we love to see those thumbs up. And then get into the comment sections down below and sound off about whatever you would want to. In this particular case, I wonder what you guys are going to say in the comment section. From there, you can head on over to AndroidAuthority.com and go to the sister websites, including Drone Rush and Sound Guys, of course. And from there, you can just head on over to AndroidAuthority.com for all of the best, because we are your source for all things Android.